Welcome. I hope you enjoy the conversation you're about to see between me and another comedian about religion and comedy. These are conversations I'm calling disorganized religion. God bless. And for those atheists out there, may nothing await you after this life. Hey,
All right.
nerds. Welcome to another episode of Disorganized Religion. This week, well, I am your host, as always, Seth Lawrence, but that didn't even need to be said. This week, you want to know who our guest is, and it is the fantastic, the one, the only. He's been on NBC's Bring the Funny. He's been on Conan, Michael Longfellow. Everybody, Michael Longfellow. Make it loud.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you
I
for
missed
making this
you.
work. I'm glad it took social distancing to bring us together.
Yeah, it took a pandemic because we've tried to do this a few times.
I know. And life got in the way. But now that life is no more, here we are.
Nothing to get in the way. So happy to do anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad this is on the list. So how you been? How you been holding up during the pandemic?
I don't know how to answer that anymore. I feel like it's been too long. It was easy the first month or two. Kind of had I adjusted and actually having a great time. In the beginning, I do think I realized that I really haven't taken a break since I started doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Like even a vacation. It feels like I take vacations because I travel all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm always there to do stand-up. So when I've been living my life in these moments, I've been existing between moments of judgment, just comedy shows, just these moments of judgment. And then my life exists in between those. And it's really nice to not have those moments of judgment. It was really nice for like a month. And now I'm a little antsy again.
Yeah.
Ready to get back to it. And also just curious about how it will function in a new world, not only with the pandemic, but all of the social change and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it's been now how long? 3 months that everyone's been
4 months, close to 4 months, maybe.
Who even knows anymore? So what was your schedule like before? I mean, were you out every weekend, different town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the first time, I was finally, I was out. I had a few headlining weekends coming up in a row.
Jeez.
I was doing clubs every week. It was perfect. It was great. It felt like for the first time my schedule was full. I was able to support myself.
Yeah.
I had a great headlining date for these kind of important people. See, I had some momentum. I had a great snowball of momentum set.
Man.
And then, what the hell? Sorry to curse.
And then God had his own plan.
What happened? Yeah, he did. Dude, he took it all away. He took it all away quick.
Jeez. Well, easy come, easy go, right?
Yeah, super easy come.
How long have you been doing stand-up, Michael?
Almost a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I was 18, I'm 26, so 8 years, closer to 9.
Yeah. That's crazy. So did you do college?
I did do college.
Yeah.
I did college.
Okay. Yeah, you did. Like Daisy did Dallas or whatever it was.
Yeah, but even before I went into college, I was already like, I'm going to be a famous stand-up comedian. So
is that right?
What major can I choose that will not really get in the way and be pretty easy? I did my last 2 years online pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So I did college, I guess.
What did you study? What was the major?
Literature.
Okay. Beautiful.
Didn't read any of the books.
Of course not. Why would you when there are films of most of the classics?
Yeah, I would for some reason justify like me not doing the assignments with like, well, but I'm working, I did 2 sets tonight and they went well. That's boring. That's what these kids are doing. Oh my God, my phone's slipping. Hang on.
That's okay.
That's so sad.
I love it. Now, are you living alone now?
I live with my girlfriend.
Okay. So does that make quarantine easier, do you feel like? Or have you gotten to the point now where it's like, someone's got to go somewhere?
Luckily, she did go somewhere. I don't want to, I take that back totally. She's so easy to be around, dude.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, she makes it better for sure. She went up to her parents' place, though.
Yeah.
So we have been. She's coming back down Sunday. I'm excited to see her.
Nice.
Yeah, we're upsettingly good together.
Yeah, you make
There's
everyone
a
else
lack of.
nauseated.
Yeah, I almost want to fight
Yeah.
just once or something.
Yeah, I feel like you had an Instagram post where you two were fighting for fake.
Oh, I asked her a
That was a
terrible,
long
terrible
time
question.
ago.
And she, yeah. No, I would never post a real fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's murder. That's murder right there.
Yeah, but we really don't fight that much.
Yeah. What's the secret, do you think? Is it just, what's been
Her
your
being
secret,
able to
Michael?
put up with a lot of pretty much.
Right? It's just all
She
her.
just has a high tolerance for nonsense. And yeah, she's just super cool. That's the secret, that she is super cool.
Nice. So stand up for 8 years, always the dream to do stand up. Who drew you to stand up, or what drew you to stand up?
I have no idea what drew me to stand up.
Oh yeah.
I try to think of that all the time. I try to make up cool like stories for myself of like,
yeah.
Oh, I remember when I was a boy and I sat around the TV.
Like
My dad let me
superhero.
stay up late
Right.
and we watched Benny Bennigan do stand up on whatever. But
yeah.
my dad and I never did that. We mostly watched movies. I didn't see stand up. I think I would come home from school and watch Comedy Central.
Mm-hmm.
And there was always like premium blend on or something.
Sure.
Maybe that's not the show, Comedy Central Presents, whatever. I would see stand up. And I always thought that I would just, dude, I thought I was so dumb growing up. I thought I would be lucky to just dig ditches and maybe have sex with a girl every once in a while. I was like, that would be a great life for me. Because I was terrible in school. Math homework made me cry.
Okay.
Cry.
Really?
17 years old, crying.
Tears.
Yeah, because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get it. So I thought I was dumb.
Yeah.
And then, but I was always funny. That was always my kind of way of coping with everything. Or the excuse of me sucking at sports was I would fall or get hit by a ground ball. And then I would say something funny to like take the attention away.
Sure.
And I never put the pieces together until later that like you could actually, I just thought you had to be absolutely Albert Einstein to do anything of significance or special, especially stand-up.
Yeah.
And then I tried it.
Was that like an upbringing thing? I mean, are your parents really smart?
My parents are very smart. They're both attorneys.
Man, your dad's a divorce attorney, right?
My dad's a divorce attorney.
And your mom's what kind of attorney?
She's real estate, business real estate.
Okay. Yeah.
She pretty much just edits.
Yeah, contracts and documents.
Dumb
right?
Dude. Yeah. She's always just yeah. But I don't know. I never really thought about that. I don't know. I just thought I was just thought I didn't have it. Yeah. Didn't know what I wanted to do.
Poor little diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So when was your first open mic experience, or when was your first experience on stage as a stand-up?
My mom signed me up for a comedy class.
No kidding.
I just mentioned it to her that I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Not the class, but stand-up.
Yeah.
And I think she was so desperate for me to like show interest in anything at all and have some sort of path.
She was like, great.
And she, against my wishes, signed me up for this class because I was like, that's not real. You know, you can't teach comedy. I was all like high and mighty already. Never done it. Already had all these. Yeah, no, this is how it is. That's trash. I knew it was nice, dude. For like, my freshman year in college, every Tuesday, I would ride my bike down to this Center for the Arts, Tempe Center for the Arts, and I would write. It was me and old people, me and a bunch of old people that wanted to do it once before they died.
Yeah.
Kind of a bucket list item.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, really do it. And I kind of spent a couple years there of like, my first show was at the end of the class, at the end of 4 weeks, you do 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I remember it was one guy's family in the audience, but there were like 50 of them. It was like the biggest family I'd ever seen.
Jeez.
And they were the nicest people, dude. I crushed so hard. I think it was my best set. It was my first set. I destroyed.
Chasing the family reunion high ever since.
Yeah, dude. I crushed so hard. Everyone loved me. I was obviously hooked. I was hooked. I would have been hooked if I bombed. I had already like told people I was gonna
That this was it.
that I was gonna be good at this, which sucked, dude. I so wish I didn't tell anybody.
But I mean, look at you now, right?
I
Like,
know it worked. Yeah,
it worked out.
I did. Maybe it made me work harder because I was like, I can't be embarrassed. But,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was secretive with it though. I didn't like tell anyone where I was doing it or really what I was. Yeah. I just.
Yeah.
They knew I
So,
wanted to.
so were you also shy in school, or is
I
that?
would teeter. I would go
Yeah.
back and forth. I would be manic and then I would be shy. Like my freshman, sophomore year, I would get kicked out of class for talking too much. Nothing crazy. Nothing like,
Yeah.
I didn't have the balls to be like cool and crazy. I would just talk too much.
Like nervous talking?
No, just talking to my friends or something.
Oh,
Just
okay.
like not paying attention.
Yeah.
And then after my junior and senior year, I was the shyest person in the world. I never talked. Something happened. I don't know if I got off some medication. I can't remember when I stopped taking all the crappy ADD medication. Through middle school, I was just a pill bucket. Like I was prescribed everything. And then I hate the way this makes me feel. I don't want to do it. So maybe that was it. But it made me very, very quiet and shy. People would tell me that they're like, this person's waiting for you to ask them to the dance. And I would still not. You'd
be like,
ask
okay.
them. Yeah. Still like, all right. Well, first of all, I would never go to the dance because that sounds like a panic attack. That sounds like I'm going to be in a suit around people.
Right.
Around peers and friends. What are you, crazy?
And then have to dance? I mean, actually dance?
Yeah, dude. Who's going to play World of Warcraft for me for the whole day? That was all I did.
Gotta mind the gold.
World of Warcraft. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Pun intended.
I think that's what got me into stand. I was playing video games so much. I was like, I have to do something or I'm going to waste my entire life on this.
Right.
Which I could have done and semi-enjoyed my life. Like I loved them that much, but I knew I wanted to do something.
Yeah. Right. So was there a lot of people I talk to, it's the connection that they feel on stage with complete strangers, and regardless of approval or disapproval, there's still some sort of shared experience that's happening. So was that a big piece of it for you too?
Dude, it sounds so corny, but it's literally the most comfortable place that I am the entire day is on stage.
What makes it so comfortable for you?
I think the control. I think that I can get across everything I'm trying to exactly the way that I want to. It wasn't always that way. Of course, went through a couple of years of like shaking and nerves, and I still get nervous before the show. But when I'm on, now I know that I have put in enough work to at least be capable.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, it's literally, I don't know, it's the most comfortable place for me for sure. And then I'll get off stage and I'll have a weird handshake with someone and I'll think about it for a week.
Yeah, and you'll be like, no, I don't like this.
I'll be like, I bet they think I'm weird. I bet they hate me.
Were you still comfortable on the Bring the Funny stage, or what was that experience like for you?
That was definitely nerve-wracking. It was also physically very cold, but that's besides the point.
On the stage?
It was just, the set was so cold, I remember. And I have no meat on my bones, as my mom says.
Right. You're a rail.
So I get very cold. My mom says that, and I'm like, it's your fault. You're the one that weighs like 90 pounds, this tiny lady.
Just bad genetics.
I remember every week I would advance on Ring the Funny. I'd be like, oh, there'd be half joy for advancing, and then half of me would be like, oh no, but I have to do that again. It ruins the whole week when you have to do a set on on a competition show. My late night, I was excited. I was nervous, but I was excited. And I knew that I had it down. The show, the jokes were kind of newer, oddly enough. I didn't have a lot of sets during the show, so I wasn't really, it's not like I did 3 nights of shows and then my set. I kind of was like, you're on set doing other stuff and you don't have time to go do shows, so you kind of go into it cold a little bit.
Right.
And then there's like judges
Yeah.
So if you're doing comedy on television, you're already being judged
Yeah.
by America.
Yeah.
That's enough judgment for me. And then
Yeah.
you add more judgment, and then they talk to you afterwards. I didn't hear a word they said. I was just thinking, what does my face look like? Am I reacting appropriately?
Yeah. 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 Did I come off too cocky, too
Yeah.
strong, too humble? What's the, yeah.
I got lucky because they were really, really nice to me, and they made me look really good,
I
which was nice.
mean, you're a likable person though. And so no TV show wants to make a likable person a villain. Nobody wants to do
I
that.
know I'm a likable person, but dude, when I get nervous, I don't know. I
Well,
don't know if
sure.
I'm likable or not. I feel like I'm just a shell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Us.
Well, so
I'm
what was it like meeting? Because you've met now two sort of big, as far as I know, pinnacles in the comedy world. Conan and now Jeff Foxworthy. So, I mean, did either have big influences on you as you were coming up, or what was the
both of them
experience like?
definitely.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my dad loves Jeff Foxworthy. I think it's his favorite comedian,
Yeah.
which was big for me to get. I was like, I need that guy's respect, because if he says that like you're good, and my dad sees that, we're good for life. Like
Yeah. Right.
I have his support in this endeavor forever.
Yeah. And you kind of
So,
got that, right?
I did, yeah, I did
Yeah.
directly. Jeff was so freaking. He was specifically nice to stand-ups, obviously, on the
Sure.
show.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was really, really nice to me. And then Conan was in college, and when I started comedy, he was all I watched. I loved him so much. I loved how happy he was and goofy he was.
Yeah.
I didn't. He never. I don't know. I guess there's not all comedy's good, but he never tried to like look cool
Mm.
or some. He always would make himself the fool, which I always liked and kind of took as a rule. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be a. I feel like the way you look cool in comedy is by being the fool.
Yeah.
I don't know what I mean by that, but
Being the
like
joke.
you know a guy that kind of like it's clearly they're in this to get laid or something. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
they're very cool up there and
Right. The alpha
yeah,
comedians that,
a little bit, yeah.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
there's anything wrong, and that's not. I'm not saying anyone specific. I can't even name a name, but
Right.
just I know it when I see it.
Yeah. I mean, most of my experience has been around the open mic world, and I feel like a lot of them, there's still a lot of that energy. I mean, obviously, we're all still kind of figuring out how to be our persona on stage, and then dealing with hecklers or those not paying attention. Everybody goes
Yeah,
into very different defensive or aggressive modes. So that part's very interesting to witness. But there's an
definitely. And
energy
I've
about
probably
each
been guilty
comedian.
of it too.
You what? Sorry?
I've probably been guilty of it too. Probably had pockets of it
Yeah,
where you lose yourself for a week or something. But
sure.
luckily, I've been able to come back.
Yeah. Well, that's
It's
good.
the open mic scene. The open mics, they drive me crazy. When I get on the road and I'm actually doing real shows, I like feel normal in myself. But for some
Mhm.
reason, I get more nervous for some of the LA open mics than I was for Conan.
Yeah, really interesting.
I think just because it's 40 of your peers there,
Yeah.
peers.
Yeah. Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah,
They're my
30 of them
peers.
are gonna
They're your
quit.
underlings. Yeah.
Yeah. But for some reason you want their respect, you want
Yeah.
them to say, hey, he's funny, he's great.
Yeah. Well, would you rather perform in front of family or in front of LA open micers?
Probably family,
Uh-huh.
because I've done it so much. I wouldn't always have that answer, but I've done comedy so much in front of my family. I'm none to them being there.
Yeah, gotcha.
My mom's been to maybe every show I've ever done in Arizona,
Uh-huh.
to the point where I would want her to stop coming because she would like tell me if she wasn't proud anymore, and
Oh
she'd be like,
no.
you weren't very good tonight.
Come
Not
on.
that, not like that. She's way nicer than that. But she got good enough to know when I
Yeah.
was having like a slower set, and she'd be like, "Oh, what? Were you tired?
Yeah, what happened?
Not
What happened?
sleeping?
That
You got
joke
to
didn't
sleep
land as
before
well.
show." Yeah,
Man,
like
moms.
I just want you to be amazed every time I do this.
Yeah, please. Well, see, I'm to that point with my wife she's like too nervous for me when I'm on stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anytime after a set that she's seen, she's always like, I don't even know how you did, because I'm I was just so nervous for you. And I don't find that particularly comforting either. So
yeah,
I can
my
understand.
girlfriend has to deal with, it takes a damn near perfect set for me to get off completely fine.
Oh, sure.
Like I've definitely had sets where Kate's been like, that was so great. And I've been like, let's leave right now. I can't be around these people. And I ruin the
Yeah.
whole night. You know, I'm bummed the rest of the night. She has to be
Right.
next to. I try not to do that anymore because it ruins her night too.
Yeah.
But
Well, are you to the point where you can explain to her, like, well, I missed
I'm the
this
point where I can
tag.
explain
I
to
just,
myself.
yeah.
She's always going to be, she's going to think
You were great.
I was not great. She'll know that even if she believes in me. She's like, even if you do bad, I still think you're great.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I needed to get to a point where I could explain to myself. I can now, you know, I don't know if I can. Bomb's the wrong word because bomb is too. I feel like once you do comedy enough, I don't know how you would fully bomb.
Yeah.
And watch me bomb the first set back after this because I haven't done it in a while. But
well, I think everyone's going to be so excited to get out again that no one's going to bomb. You know, everyone's going to understand like this is a new experience kind of for everybody this post quarantine time.
I can't wait.
Yeah, but I do agree with you. Bombing seems to be a relative term, right? And I've felt kind of similar in that I will go up, I'll have an okay set, but there's something that I wanted to work on. There was a joke that I wanted to do, and I either mess it up or forget to do it completely. And then I feel like, well, I bombed. That was not at all. I wasted my time.
Yeah, I think a bomb to me now is just not the best set that it could have been, and I know it. I don't know how. Sometimes I know how I know it. Sometimes I don't know how I know it, but I know it.
Yeah.
And it used to freak me out, and now I can be like, chill, dude.
There'll be another
You're
one.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to quit. You put all your marbles in this basket. That kind of eliminates, what's going to happen.
Right.
You can't stop. You have nothing. You have nothing else. What are you going to quit if you bomb?
I mean, come on.
No way.
Yeah. No, you're going to press forward whether the world wants it or not. You're here.
Yeah, whether I want it or not, really, because it's the one skill I've developed.
Oh, but you're so good at it, Michael. You're so good at it. It's so fun to watch you up there.
Thanks, Seth.
So grew up in Arizona. Were you born in Arizona?
Born and raised.
Man, beautiful. What part of Arizona?
Phoenix area. Born in the Phoenix Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I say that with very little.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well,
I'm pretty sure it's hospital in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Lived in Gilbert originally, and then moved to Scottsdale in the 4th grade. I think 4th or 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's been.
Yeah. So if you spent and I know from seeing your comedy and talking to you before, your parents split. At what age did your parents get divorced?
They got divorced right after my sister was born. She's 14 months younger than me. So I guess like 14.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I can't remember if they might have split while my mom was pregnant with her.
Gotcha.
But either way, I didn't have a brain yet.
Yeah. So you don't have memories of mom and dad together.
No.
Yeah.
In fact, this last Christmas, my mom was dropping me off at my dad's house to like she has us in the morning and then my dad has us in the evening on Christmas. And she came in and we took a picture together, and I realized while we were taking it, I was like, this is the only time this has ever happened that me, my sister, my dad, and my mom have all been in a picture together.
Wow, that is crazy.
Cool. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, that's amazing. So your parents have lived close enough to each other your entire life.
Yeah. They were great divorced parents. They lived 15, 20 minutes away. They didn't talk badly about each other.
Yeah.
It literally just seemed like in my bit, the joke is that I didn't know if they really knew each other. And it's a joke, but it really is kind of like how it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like dad and mom. I had no idea what their relationship was.
Right. You just knew you spent some time with the woman and some time with the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much time, or what was the division like?
The division. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you grew up mostly with your mom, or you grew
Oh
up
yeah,
equally mom and dad, or?
split up down the middle.
Gotcha. So by
Just like,
month or by week?
I think by week.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
just had 2 sets of clothes, 2 toothbrushes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All that. I had a
Yeah.
house with my dad was more strict, so I was always, I think I like mom's a little more just because I had video games there, and my dad would let
Ah,
me have video.
interesting.
Um,
Yeah, often it's the other way around, you know? It's the dads,
it
it's
is,
like, hey,
yeah.
I'm
No,
party
my
dad,
mom's
I'm cool
way
dad.
more. With my dad, no means no, and with my mom, no means we're 5 minutes away from yes.
Ask me one more time.
Saying yeah,
Yeah.
I can talk her into it.
That's great. That is the way it was for me growing up, except for my parents lived in the same house. So I would go to a different room if I wanted a different answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So were either of your parents religious, or were you raised?
Yes.
Yeah.
My mom was very religious. Not very well. I guess I would say very. When she grew up, she was very, very religious. Her mother, my grandmother, worked in the church, and that was a huge part. I went to Catholic
Mm.
church every Sunday. I went to the Sunday school, did all the stuff, communion. I have a little scary, like, my grandmother, when we got our communion, she
You
gave us
mean
we all have
reassuring?
biblical names.
Uh-huh.
Like Michael, John, Joe.
Yeah.
So she would get a ceramic, whatever our angel was.
Yeah.
And I guess mine's the one that killed the devil. So I
Oh,
have this, or I don't know.
I didn't
But
know the devil was even killed. Is that?
there's a lot of stuff in there. A lot of stuff happened.
So
Uh,
yeah. So who's the
but I
angel that
had this
you?
terrifying statue of this man stabbing this like this red beast.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I turned 12, I got it.
Man, sounds like your angel's Jesus is what it sounds like.
Well, he's the head honch,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've lost touch since. But
So
as
so do
soon
you
as my mom
remember
was
the
like, "You guys don't have
name
to go to church."
of your angel?
Saint Michael. I think it
Oh,
was Saint
okay.
Michael. Yeah.
Got it. I wasn't sure if Michael was your given name or your christened name.
No, Michael is the given name. I don't know if I have a christened name. I don't know if I know what that means.
Oh, I am a little bit fuzzy on my Catholic religious vernacular and practices, rituals. For some reason, I thought that when you picked sort of your guardian angel or your patron saint, you also got a christened name
Oh, well,
coinciding
maybe
with
it
the
just
patron saint,
worked
but maybe
out
not.
because there was a. That's probably true, but I guess mine worked out just because
It
my
was all
guy was
Michael.
Michael.
It
Yeah,
was
my name
planned
was
from the beginning,
Michael.
just like your stand-up career. It was all known
It was
before.
all part of the plan.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, so your mom Catholic, your dad also Catholic, just less so,
I
or?
guess so. I really don't remember ever going to church with Dad.
Yeah.
Maybe Christmas we would. I think his second wife would make us go to church sometimes,
Uh-huh.
but he never really. He was just never really cared. I don't think.
Yeah. No, and fair enough.
Yeah. Not against it or for it or really just didn't think about it.
Yeah. So, but you going to Sunday school and doing, the catechisms and stuff in Catholicism, did you ever connect with the religion, or was it always like, this is just what we do with mom?
I don't know if I ever knew that I connected with it, but I think analyzing it years later, I definitely felt. I definitely believed that Jesus was watching me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. This is. Can we? How dirty can I be on this podcast? I don't want to.
You be yourself, Michael. You be yourself.
I would
Be as
literally
dirty as you need
remember.
to. Yeah.
Let's just say if I was about to do something scandalous,
Yeah.
that it might maybe a young boy would do if he saw like a picture of a pretty lady.
Sure. I love that you called it a lady. Yeah.
If I was about to do that and I thought of Jesus,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it
Hmm.
because I was like, that's the test. He's testing me. He knows I want to. And if
Man.
I don't, it'll be good. But
Yeah.
that just turned into this like, I don't know if it's good to think that there's a dude watching you all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
can see how that
don't
might be
know.
problematic.
Yeah, I think it really kind of got into my head and maybe led to some of the shyness or whatever, or just the lack of doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
Eventually, I decided that if God loves me, he's going to love me no matter what. And I'm
Yeah.
generally a good dude, so I think I'll be okay.
Right. Right.
Growing up, probably till I was like 15, yeah, I was like nervous of that guy not liking me.
That he would just be so disappointed. What did you think would happen if
I don't know, something bad to my
Jesus was
family,
like,
or
no?
I would have a life of peril and I would be just destitute, something, I don't
Yeah.
know.
You just felt like you
A
would
girl,
know God's judgment was
yeah.
upon you. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Interesting. So when do you still identify as Catholic or
No,
no?
I guess not. I mean, I guess I don't identify as another religion.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
mean, I
like
got to
non-Jewish
say
now, but
the the grand majority of Catholics I've talked to, that answer, I guess not, is probably the most Catholic thing I've ever heard.
yeah, dude, you just forget about it. As soon as your mom's like, you don't have to go to church anymore, you're like, I'm all right. I'm done with
Great.
that. Still
So
have
was
all of
that a
that I learned in me, but
was that a
I'm done with it for
conversation
sure.
you and your mom had? Was like, hey, I'm not feeling it, or she was just like, if you don't want to, you're old enough now.
It was one Christmas. I remember she was lying on the ground, being a goofball or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she was tired, and we were supposed to go to the midnight mass.
Right.
And she was just like, kids, we're not going to go to church. It's fine. And then she just kind of stopped
And that
making
was
us go
it.
on Sundays, and yeah, it just kind
Wow.
of faded away. It wasn't really a big thing. There was no
Yeah.
sit down. There was no
Yeah.
like, you can choose what you want to do. She definitely is still religious. She prays for me all the time. She tells me that.
Yeah.
She wants me to prayer. I'll still catch myself maybe twice a year if something crazy happens.
Yeah.
I'll catch myself doing a little like cross up every once in a while.
Interesting.
Just like
Okay.
because that was just such a ingrained. It's like a thank you kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
step in traffic and I don't get hit by a car and I'm like, oh,
Thank you.
just in case. Yeah, I don't know.
Right. Right. So do you still believe in God, or where do you stand kind of spiritually now?
God, what a funny thing that's God. Uh, dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I'm definitely not an atheist.
Uh-huh.
I I believe in a higher power.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I actually believe it or it's because I would like to. And it seems scary not to think that there's any sort of thing.
Yeah.
But even if the higher power is aliens that sent us down here and we're a little video game, maybe that's it. It's just there's a higher something
Yeah.
that is, yeah. I do believe that like you get out you get what you put out
Uh-huh.
as far into this. So that's, I mean, that's spiritual in a way. I
Yeah.
believe in karma, I guess,
Yeah. I would
in some
guess
way.
sort of the common understanding of karma, this what goes around
Yeah,
comes
like the
around.
light, nothing crazy. I don't think if I litter, I'm gonna freaking die or something. But
Right. Right.
I'll be like,
Or
I
the
bet if I'm
reincarnation.
generally,
Yeah.
yeah, if I'm generally a good dude overall, it'll probably be a better life for me,
Yeah. Good energy brings good
which is the
energy.
only reason I'm a good dude. So I get a good life.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I've been working on a bit about that I'm only a good person because of God. I don't understand why atheists are good people, because I meet them all the time, but sort of like you're
They're
wasting
not
your
great.
time. Oh man. So what do you think is there an afterlife for you? Do you
God, I hope
believe
there
in an
is.
afterlife? Do you think about it, or is it
Yes, I believe in the soul.
uh-huh something
I think it
eternal?
leaves you and yeah, it bops around. I don't know where it goes, but it travels somewhere. And
Mhm.
that's what I hope.
Yeah. Do you
I hope that
think Oh yeah, go ahead.
I just hope that whatever we are lasts forever in
Yeah.
whatever carnation that means.
Yeah. Yeah. I can appreciate that. Do
And
you
again,
think,
I don't know if this is what I want to believe or if it's just if I actually believe it. Like if I had a gun to my head, I don't know.
you tell me the truth about what you believe right now?
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, does it really matter if, I guess, as far as like, here's what I mean. So if you truly believe it, you're going to act a certain way. If you hope that it's true and you act the same way, in the end, does it really matter if your actions are still being dictated by a hope or a belief? Sounds kind of like it's the same thing to me.
Yeah. I think it only matters in the way that like I just don't want the ride to end.
Yeah.
You're right. It doesn't matter actually to the world. No, not
Yeah.
at
But
all.
maybe just to you. Right.
I definitely think people need more of a reason than the fear of God to be good people. I
You
think
don't think
people
that's
are.
enough? You don't think
I
having
don't think
Jesus
it's
watch
yeah.
you is
Like if
enough?
someone doesn't believe in God, they're like, well, I guess I can just do whatever I want. I
Yeah.
think there's generally a moral compass that's much stronger than the fear of God. But
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. So is there anything about church or religion that you miss?
I miss leaving
You
because it
miss
was I miss leaving church because it was a feeling. It was the best feeling in the world.
like walking out the doors of
Walking
Mass.
out, getting a donut from some dude who's like everyone is just like rushing to. He squeezes your donut too hard, gives you this squeezed, crusty
Yeah.
donut. But it was
They would
great,
hand
and
that
you
to
get to
you
go home and
out of the Catholic Church. You'd get a little
I'd walk up.
conciliatory donut.
Yep, get a little donut.
Yeah.
I remember when the donation bucket would come around, I'd always be like, "Oh, we're about to get out of here. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, that's the sign. That means we're
Yeah.
about to end." But I don't miss church at all. I didn't like going because I hated the clothes. I would see
Uh-huh.
girls that I liked at church, and I'd be wearing these dorky clothes, and I would just be so embarrassed. Um,
Sure.
I was just generally, and my whole vibe, my entire life has just been embarrassed. Generally, I've just been generally embarrassed my entire time.
Hmm.
And I started doing stand up, and I get to not be embarrassed for an hour a night, like if I'm lucky.
Right. Well, do you think part of that non-embarrassment is I'm supposed to be embarrassed? Do you know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah, I
supposed to
think
be the joke,
so.
so I want everyone laughing at me.
Well, no, it wasn't embarrassing like that. It was just generally like I've never known where to stand or how to
Mm.
stand or what clothes matched or how to look good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was kind of I went through a chubby phase that I think kind of messed with me for a little bit.
Mm.
I never felt comfortable, not until I got older did I feel comfortable with my body or anything or my
Yeah.
mind, my
Yeah.
capabilities. I was just kind of generally embarrassed.
Yeah. So interesting that you talk about your sort of your personal outlook on yourself as a kid not being very intelligent, because my perception of you is that you're very intelligent. Certainly
Well,
your
thank you.
stand-up communicates a high level of intelligence. It's not there,
Yeah, I look back now and I realize that that was dumb. I was definitely I didn't, read a book and gain IQ points or something. I was just I put all of what I cared about in the wrong things. I thought that if I wasn't good at math, it must mean that I'm dumb. I
Sure.
can't play sports, so I'm uncoordinated.
Mm.
But I wasn't supposed to be doing either of those things. When I got into the first time I felt like I might be smarter than someone else was my senior year in English class because I had a teacher that I don't know, he just like we would do writing prompts every day
Yeah.
and it would get to the point where those were kind of my first performances. I would really take some liberties with the writing prompts.
Yeah.
It'd be like, make up a reason why you didn't do your homework. And I noticed that I would just there was another lane I was coming from that other people weren't.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where people were excited for Michael's prompt. And it
So
was
would
just
you
like,
read it afterward as
I would
well?
read it. Yeah, we'd all have to read
Beautiful.
it out
So you
loud.
got the writing,
I'd
the
always,
performance. Yeah.
yeah, I started doing that. And I guess I had moments of, I always knew English and words were way more comfortable for me.
Sure.
I just didn't think that that meant anything. I was like, what am I going to write a book? Like, who cares if I'm good at this? This is not helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I just I didn't. You just gotta do what you want to do. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
thing that you want to do when you're a kid, you can actually do. Maybe not sports and stuff. That kind of there's got to be somewhat of a.
I mean, it depends on the level at which you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I guess with everything that's true.
Yeah. 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 Because certainly if you love comedy as a kid, join an
Doesn't
improv
mean you
team,
can.
do stand up,
Yeah.
but it might not mean you're going to go pro, right?
Hmm.
Just
Yeah.
like basketball. But there are city leagues, there are open mics, there are clubs that you can join and do
Yeah.
those kinds of things in. Do you, I mean, I guess my thought on religion, because you talk about insecurities, I think everybody has insecurities. One thing I found comforting about my religion was this idea that God does love me no matter what I look like or even what I do. He might be disappointed, certainly, but he still loves me and accepts me. So I guess I'm wondering, did religion help you with that or not at all? Was that
I
not
never
even
got
a
any solace
factor?
from that.
Yeah.
If I did think that God loved me, I thought, well, I want Sarah to love me, and like I don't feel that.
Right, right. And she's
You
not going to
know,
love me because I
I guess
can't
I just didn't
catch.
want God to hate me. I never really thought of him loving me.
Yeah, interesting. Gotcha. Gotcha. And do you
I didn't want to be on his
feel,
bad side.
yeah, I mean, and so in your state now, does that factor in for you, God loving you, or no, not at all?
Not at all. I just forget about it. I just
You go
don't
about your
think.
day.
I go about
Yeah.
my day. I don't think about it really. I'll send out prayers every once in
Yeah.
a while if something crazy happens or someone gets sick or something maybe. But I
Yeah.
guess that's just utilizing every tool that I think I have to make some situation better.
Yeah. So final question for you, Michael, and then we'll get to the segment that I honestly love the most because it's all about me. Is if there's an afterlife, which I believe there is, but for you, afterlife, what would you want to do in the afterlife? What's the
Zip around
dream?
space for a while,
Uh-huh.
find all the other souls that I am supposed to be with and connected with.
Uh-huh.
I guess my family and friends and stuff, and then show up to the meeting or whatever it is, and take my next assignment.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I
get
mean, we're
there
not too
and
far
say, all
apart.
right, where am I going? What am I doing?
Yeah, let's
Uh,
go. Let's do it.
yeah, let's do it.
Is there stand up in the afterlife for you, do you think?
I hope so.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
what I
people
know I
say
do.
God has a sense of humor, so maybe that's the stand up, you know?
Oh, I bet. Yeah, but I mean, God, how do you impress that guy?
I mean, I
Be
think
like, I wrote
Conan,
that joke. Every joke you do, it'd be like, I wrote that.
yeah, Conan's a start,
Yeah,
right? That's got to be.
yeah, that's true. Even God starstruck by Conan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like
Was it not?
I can't believe I made you and I'm meeting you again. Oh man. All right, it's that time, Michael. What's the deal with
Yeah.
Mormons?
What
Any,
is the deal with Mormons?
what is the deal? Anything regarding Mormons, Mormonism, or my personal outlook on faith and religion that you're curious about?
Yes, couple questions
Beautiful.
that I thought of. One, my best friend growing up, Ryan, was Mormon. He lived behind us in
Uh-huh.
Gilbert. So until the third grade, this was who I would hang out every day. And I remember the only thing I didn't know anything about Mormons except that Ryan could not come out and play on Sunday. And I was
Sure.
always upset about that.
Yeah.
So is Sunday like is it kind of just a day of rest type thing? They were very strict about it. They would not break for anything. You could never,
Right.
for no exceptions.
Right. Yeah. Sunday is the Sabbath. So it's funny. I mean, yes, that is the way my childhood was as well. No hangouts with friends on the Sabbath. I remember distinctly, there was a couple times when I was in high school that some friends, and I grew up in Utah, 90% Mormon where I was. And some of my friends would get together to sing hymns on Sunday. That was like our loophole to hang out, right?
Okay.
We would go to someone's living room and we would play church songs and we would sing church songs together, which is probably, the creepiest thing anyone's ever heard. But I remember asking my dad if I could do that, and and he said, "No, we don't. No, he saw sort of, I think, through it and was like, no, you
Yeah.
can't go hang out and do that. Then years later, when I was in college, basically almost done with university, he and I got into some discussion that was tangentially related to going out on Sunday. And he said, I grew up, I don't understand why you kids never went out and sang hymns. I would do that every week growing up in small town Summit, Utah. And my sister and I, who were closest in age, were like, are you kidding me? Because we both asked you. So it is a thing to not hang out on Sunday, but I think, I don't know. I think
Is it like family by family? It's not like
family by family, and certainly I think universally throughout the church there are accepted activities and unacceptable activities to do on Sunday. I think
I don't think you could play video games or anything, or
so again that was family by family, because if you're doing video games like non-violent, that was always my house rule, non-violent video games on Sunday. But yeah, I mean, so there were some families where it was like, no homework. You can't do homework on Sunday because that's what you're doing the rest of the week.
Get behind that.
Yeah.
That's a bummer though. You got something to do on Monday.
Right. Exactly. So there's the Mormon faith is quite personal in that we believe in a personal connection to God. So a lot of it kind of comes down to this: what do you feel good about doing? Because your thoughts on Sunday in particular should be turned to God. So if you feel comfortable kind of, in your relationship with God to do your math homework thinking about him, then I guess that's fine.
Really? So you could be like, we're tight. Listen, he'll be fine. This is Grand Theft Auto, and we're totally tight. I know.
Taking everybody to church. Yeah, exactly.
All right. The other question I had was, how do you feel as a Mormon, sort of about how you guys are portrayed, I guess in the way of like the Book of Mormon and stuff like that? Because I feel like,
you mean the musical?
Well, just like generally in mainstream, I feel like it's almost viewed like close to Scientology, when I feel like it has a lot more legitimacy and sort of it's not at all an evil cult like Scientology. So what do you, I don't know, does it bother you sometimes? Is it something you can laugh at? Is there credence to it? Is there like really weird stuff that you're just totally not, you're like, yeah, that's a weird part of it? There's tons of that in the Catholic Church where it's like, but yeah, I guess, what do you think of your portrayal in the mainstream media?
Yeah, I usually I find it I guess cute. It's sort of like, oh, they almost got it right, or that it's fine. I think the only times I've really been bothered by it are when people, Big Love came out a few years ago now. That it's when it is not clearly delineated that the mainstream Mormon faith does not practice polygamy and hasn't for a while. That kind of stuff to me is like, well, now you're just being ignorant and you're playing on a certain stereotype for, viewers, or to
like
sell it. So that's the only time it really bothers me.
So polygamy is totally like, oh, I'm sorry, hang on, I'm getting a call.
Oh, you're all right.
From someone I told I was doing this. My girlfriend. I said I'll text you after the podcast.
It's okay. She thought they couldn't still be talking about God, could they?
So polygamy, as far as it's like, you would look at a guy doing that like, what are you doing? Or maybe just with a sideways eye. If a guy
what do you mean? Like if someone,
like if a guy, I don't know, he comes to the church and he's with his 9 wives, and are people kind of like, well, that's a little odd?
Oh yeah, no, that doesn't happen.
Okay, yeah, it's not a thing.
Yeah, not even a thing, right? So in the sense that it is a justified stereotype, Mormons practiced polygamy as part of the mainstream faith from, let's say, like 1840. It was a few years after the church had been established. Joseph Smith, the prophet of the Restoration, the guy in New York who found the gold plates, he through revelation, instituted polygamy in the modern day that lasted from around 1840 to, I mean, quite late, if I remember right. Trying to think about exactly the year. I always mess up the year. Early 1900s, let's say. The United States ended up passing federal and polygamy outlawed laws, laws outlawing polygamy, and that's what ended polygamy for the mainstream faith.
That's a shame.
I know, real bummer. Some members ended up moving to Mexico under prophetic direction. So the leadership of the church said, as far as we know, we're not going to do it in the States anymore, but Mexico still allows it, and we haven't received any further direction from God to stop. So we'll send you to Mexico. You can populate some Mexican colonies down there. And it lasted. There's a
lot of people that roll down to Mexico for the looseness of the law.
yeah, it's still a tradition today. But no, now in mainstream Mormonism, if you have, if you're bigamous, you're excommunicated. You're not a member of the mainstream faith.
All right.
Yeah. So monogamy from here on out, as far as, like 1950s, 60s, somewhere around there.
So your whole life.
Yeah, my whole life for sure.
That has to be frustrating then, that it is such a, like, I literally just learned that. Totally thought it was still a thing that I'm sure I didn't think most people probably did it, but I was like, I bet there's still a thing.
Yeah.
Golly, man.
Yeah. So
I can see how that would be very frustrating.
So that's the only time where I'm like, you just didn't do your research. So it's more like you don't. So jokes about Mormons doing polygamy, I don't care. Those are fun. I will do those. But when people seriously portray, it's like now you haven't even looked into it. You don't care enough to look into it. You're just using us in the way that you want to. That's the only time it really gets under my skin. Other than that, I think most every portrayal is hilarious. Missionaries are often portrayed, and that's just so funny.
Any portrayal of any religion is funny because they're all funny.
Yeah, and I think you have to laugh at yourself. You have to
have a sense of humor about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to recognize the oddities.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe not all religions are funny. We'll go on record, but
well, some religions have a better sense of humor than others.
Exposed to, I feel like there's always funny stuff, especially the Catholic Church. There's a lot of not funny stuff, but
yes, for sure,
just goofiness.
But there's also a lot of mysticism. I mean, of any faith, I guess, other than Pentecostals who believe, in like holy rollers and speaking in tongues at random times during a meeting. Like, there's a lot of mysticism in Catholicism, as far as I know. Like, there are holy relics. There are, the patron saints.
Like
you're sort of
goat people. I mean, there's darn near anything.
Yeah. But for any religion that's lasted as long as Catholicism has, there's gonna be traditions stemming from every walk of life. So
some funky stuff. I still don't know what that piece of bread is made from that they put in our mouth, that little wafer thing. I've never found it on the shelves at a store. I've never had that taste again.
Well, did you ever believe in transubstantiation?
I don't even know what that word means.
So as far as I understand it, there is a Catholic belief that when you take the Eucharist, the wafer, it becomes
the body of Christ.
The body of Christ becomes the flesh of Christ as it travels down, the esophagus.
I would have never ate that thing if I thought that happened. Be like, dude, this is skin by the time it's my esophagus? No way.
Yeah, holy skin, purifying skin. Right.
No, I always just thought it was, I knew that's what it was like. I knew it was like the body of Christ, but no, I never actually believed that I was drinking blood and eating body.
Yeah.
I wonder if there are people that.
There have to be, right? There
absolutely has to be. That's not even the worst thing you can do in the Catholic Church.
But if you believe it's purifying you, and you've, the Bible, Jesus is not mincing words, right? He's saying you need my body, you need my blood to purify you. Now, I understand it as symbolic as you did.
I always thought it was kind of like we're doing like a shout out. We're like, hey, thank
kudos.
you.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to you.
I didn't really, I didn't think that I was being purified or anything.
Did you do confessional or no?
Did confession,
Yeah.
did all the stuff.
Okay.
Everything short of becoming a choir boy. And I did want to be a choir boy.
Oh,
I think just because I knew even at that age, I knew I wanted to be on stage. You know?
That was it. Well, and you didn't have to worry about the outfit or what you wore, right? Because it all matched. It was there.
With those cool robes.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
But now years later, I'm very happy I'm not a choir boy. Very happy I wasn't alone around the priest.
Yeah.
At the church.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, anything you got to plug now that, things are starting to open up,
What would I? I have dates that are hopefully going to be rescheduled that I'll be hearing about pretty soon.
Beautiful.
So
where can people find you then? Yeah.
MichaelLongfellow.com that'll have all my information. Instagram. I post a lot of stuff on TikTok, actually. Dude, I've been popping on the TikTok.
Absolutely.
I have like 100,000 followers or something on TikTok. Like,
that's amazing.
Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Just posting videos that I've already posted elsewhere.
That's great, though. That's the generation you need to get into.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a real great place. TikTok.
Yeah. Lots of uplifting. Cool. Do you have an OnlyFans page yet? Or
yeah, I might as well, dude. If I had a TikTok. Haven't had to do the OnlyFans yet. But give this pandemic a few more months, and you can catch a picture of my feet for $3.99 a month.
I love it. Are you worried about getting canceled at all? Is that something you think about?
No, because I haven't done anything that would warrant being canceled. So I'm pretty unworried about it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I think it's all a great thing.
Yeah,
because there is that thing is like, as a white guy, and you see all these white guys, all it's doing is making room for more white guys that aren't creeps.
Yeah, I hope.
Great.
I hope
Goodbye,
so.
Like the whole defend comics thing too is so stupid. I don't necessarily like comics. I like comedy. I like a lot of comics.
Yeah.
But I don't like a lot of comics too.
Yeah.
What I love is comedy. So why wouldn't you fight for it to be the best place that it can be?
Right. Safest place.
I would vouch. Yeah. I'd literally vouch for maybe 3 comedians, dude.
And you messed up every time. No, I'm just kidding. Always the wrong guys.
I have messed up before. I've definitely vouched for people that.
They're like, oh, never mind.
Why do your dirtiest set? The set that I vouched for you. Why'd you do new stuff, dude? This comics are, God, they're so funny.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I'm all about making room at the top. Let's trickle up. That's what I say.
Do it. Let's be better to the ladies in comedy. I always knew that was whack, even ever since I was a kid. I was very thankful that I was not a female doing comedy.
Yeah, man.
Stuff that
I can't imagine.
Every comedian has to deal with bull crap, especially from bookers and club owners. I don't know why they're generally they have and I know some absolutely amazing ones. Yeah. But especially like, I'm a guy who says yes to any show, especially in the beginning. I was around straight up just horrible people.
Yeah.
Horrible people. I couldn't believe it. And I was a kid too.
Right.
My first exposure to like all the adults in my world had so far been lovely people and people to look up to. And then I met adults I wasn't related to and just guys that own a bar that they run a show at.
Yeah.
I met just villains, like literal villains.
Yeah. Well, power corrupts, man.
Yeah. The extreme power.
Yeah. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Yeah.
Who wouldn't be corrupted by the power of a bar show?
I know. I control your next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I think it's all good stuff that's happening right now.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week, Michael. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And I mean, you're looking great, so that's going for you.
Like the hair?
I
It's
do.
never
It
been
looks
longer.
nice. It looks nice.
Never been longer.
It looks
I'll
like
get
you're
it cut.
kind of trying to replace somebody.
A dude. I thought about that the other day because someone said I look like Ben Shapiro.
Oh.
And it was a picture of me with short hair. And I was like, no, I have long hair now. And then I was like, so who do I look like now that's bad? And then I thought immediately, oh no.
I
You're
love
right,
it.
dude. It's like
It's
exactly
great.
there.
It's great.
All right, buddy. Thank
I
you for
love it.
having me. It was great to talk to you, man. Be well.
Thank you. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Have a good week.